Let us solve some questions based on trigonometric identities. This is our first question. We are given such an information. Using this, we have to find the value of sine square theta minus cos square theta. So this is the equation that we are going to start with. Now, what is the problem here? We have two different trigonometric functions here, tan theta and sine theta. And how are they related? We know that tan theta has a sine theta in its numerator, which means these two can get cancelled. Shall we start answering the question? Our tan theta has a sine theta in its numerator. So both of this will get cancelled and you will get cos theta is 1 by root 3, which means its square is 1 by 3. Now what about sine square theta? If you have cos theta, how will you find sine square theta? It is 1 minus cos square theta. Sine square theta is 2 by 3. Then what do we have to do? Subtract 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3 and the answer we need is 1 by 3. Now this is our second question. We are given such an equation. This is the information we are given. Using this you have to find cot theta. Now remember, your cot theta is actually what? It is cos theta by sine theta. So you don't even have to find the individual values. You just have to find what this ratio is. So that is easy, right? So now how do we deal with this equation? How will we proceed from here? What do you think is out of place? We have a theta in both places, which is fine. But what do we do with 90 minus theta? What is 90 minus theta? This theta here and this 90 minus theta are what? They are complementary angles, or in other words, when you add them, this and this get cancelled. Theta and minus theta gets cancelled and you get only 90. So these are angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Then what is the rule that such angles follow? The cos of any one will be equal to the sine of its complementary angle. Now this is not only for sine and cos, it is the same for tan and cot. The tan value of any angle will be equal to the cot of its complementary angle. What is the complementary angle for 2? 90 minus 2, which is 88. So this follows for tan and cot and this follows for sec and cosec. The cos of any angle will be equal to the sine of its complementary angle. So what do? Instead of cos 90 minus theta, we have to put sine theta. So then how will we proceed? Now you remember what I told you? You do not have to find the individual values of sine theta and cos theta. That is not needed. You just need a cos theta by a sine theta. So what do? Let us isolate all the cos to one side and all the sine to another side. Then how will you get the equation as? You have root 2 sine theta minus sine theta. So what is common in both of these terms? Take the sine theta out and here you have root 2 minus 1. There. All you have to do is take this down. Cos theta by sine theta. That is the answer that you are looking for. This is your cot theta and that is equal to root 2 minus 1. So shall we move on to the next question? This is our next question. We are given such an equation. Using this, you have to find what is theta. Now, we have two different trigonometric functions. Why don't we make it into same? Instead of sine and cos, why don't we just deal with just cos or just sine? Now, how do we change it? How are they related? Cos square theta is what? It is 1 minus sine square theta, right? So here we have got rid of cos square theta and we have got an equation which deals only with sine square theta. Then what do we have? We have sine square theta is 1, which means sine theta is 1. What is the angle whose sine value is 1? for now it is 90 degrees, but in higher classes you will learn that there are many other angles also which are greater than 360 degrees, whose sine value will be 1. But for now in the 10th standard you are learning only about angles from 0 to 360, so we will just stick to this. So if you have a sine theta as 1, the theta is 90. Shall we go on to the next question? Now this is our fourth question. We are given the value for cosec theta. Using this we have to find the value of such an expression. Now usually what do we take cosec theta to be? We take cosec theta to be 1 by sine theta. But then when you are given a numerical value, do not take it like this. Instead, take this as hypotenuse by opposite side. Why is that? If you take 1 by sine theta is equal to this, you will end up equating such two fractions and you will end up thinking that 1 is equal to 13 and sine theta is equal to 12. That will make no sense at all. So in such cases, when numerical values, numbers are given, do not take it as 1 by sine theta and equate it. It will not make any sense at all. So equate like this. Take it as hypotenuse by the opposite side. And another thing, always remember to put a constant here. Why is that? If you take a ratio of say 2 by 3 or 4 by 6, this will still give you the ratio 2 by 3, or multiply both with say 5, then you will get 10 and 15. 10 and 15 will also give you a 2 by 3. 4 by 6 will also give you a 2 by 3. 20 by 30 will also give you the same ratio. So you don't know if there is some constant which is being cancelled off. You don't know that. So always take in account that maybe there was some constant which was cancelled off. So always remember to put a k here. And the other thing which goes without saying, remember the Pythagorean triplets. What are they? They are three numbers which will follow the Pythagoras theorem. For example, 13, 12 and 5. Remember such groups of numbers. These are three numbers which follow the Pythagoras theorem in such a way. These are numbers in such a way that the greatest of them will be the hypotenuse, because the hypotenuse is always the largest side. So if you square the smaller two numbers, you will get the square of the greater number. So that will be your hypotenuse. Such numbers are known as Pythagorean triplets. There are just a handful of them which are often used. So please remember, if you get 13 and 12, if you apply the Pythagoras theorem, the third side will be 5. If you want, you can do the whole thing. You can apply the Pythagoras theorem, which is what? 13 k square is equal to 12 k square plus x square. In case we are thinking you don't know that, then you can see that x square is the square root of all of this. Then you will get x is what? You will get x is equal to 5k. So when such questions come for exam, don't waste time doing all the calculations. You should know that what are these set of numbers. So what have we got? We have got the other side, the third side, as 5k. So what is your sine theta? Your sine theta is the inverse of this. It is 12 by 13. And what is your cos theta? Your cos theta you have seen here. This is your theta, right? So that is what? Your adjacent side by your hypotenuse. Now apply this and get the answer. And here the answer, once you apply all the values, the answer is 3. But then, shall I tell you one more interesting way to do this? A shortcut. Shall we see another way using the trigonometric identities? This is the term which you have to find. Now, what if you divide the whole thing by sine theta? each and every term by sine theta. We can do that, right? When you take a fraction, whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator, and whatever you do to one term, you have to do to every term. So now take every term and divide it by sine theta, then this thing will become just 2. The second term will become 3 cot theta, and here again these two will get cancelled. It will just be 4. 4 minus 9 cot theta. See how easy it is? All you have to know is, when you look at this, you have to know that you will get a plain cot theta here, and then how are cot theta and cosec theta related? They are related with such an equation. So you see how this is working. In trigonometry, there are 100 ways to do a question, and in each way you will get the correct answer. You just have to apply the right rules. So there are two ways by which you can do this question. Either you can take the numerical value, find the opposite side, the hypotenuse, the adjacent side, and then you can find the answer, or you can use such a trigonometric identity. What is that identity? Cosec square theta minus cot square theta is 1. Apply that, divide throughout by sine theta, and this is a much simpler way. I think this is a simpler way. Whatever works for you, it's fine. Now we are on to our last question. We are given such an equation, very easy, right? All we have to do is isolate tan theta to one side, and we get what? We get tan theta is equal to 1 by root 3. Now, what is which is the angle whose tan value is 1 by root 3? It is what? It is tan 30 degrees. So, if you have two angles such that their tan value is same, not just the tan value, the sec value, the cos value. If you have two such acute angles whose trigonometric value, tan value is same, that means what? The two angles themselves have to be same, which means what? Theta has to be 30 degrees, which means what is sine 30? Sine 30 is what? It is 1 by 2. So its square is what? 1 by 4. Similarly, what is cos square 30? What is cos 30? It is root 3 by 2. So its square would be 3 by 4. So the answer you are looking for is minus 1 by 2. This is our last question. That's all for today. Till I meet you again, you take care. Assalamu alaikum.